Antelope Road, on the way to Ridgemaster Outfitters, 2022. Let's get her done. Oh, here we are, KayCee Wyoming, approximately 900 miles, right on the money from my driveway to here, and home of the late Chris Ledoux, and we'll be hunting with Ridgemaster Outfitters. Chuck Cureton, 30 years of hunting with that man. So, let's get on with the program. First mailbox on the left. It's about 6 miles out of KayCee. Now this is what you call living off the grid. That's amazing. 24 hours ago we were just leaving Milwaukee.
Get too close to the edge. Ah!
You never know. You know?
Yeah. It looks like when it gets wet right there, it looks pretty slimy.
Yeah. Well, like I said, one pass, you never know how that could break off.
Any minute, yeah.
Boy, put your hand on the window.
Yeah, I know, it's cold out there. Got one of them shipping containers too. See?
A lot different than it was the last time I was here. Here's the outside of the cabin. It's got everything you need in it. This is Chuck at his lodge. And it's a hell of a nice setup.
And Don's back.
Yeah, hey,
Not the first time.
Yeah, well, it'd be 30 years
It is.
that we started this relationship.
Sure is. It's been a great one too.
It, like I told you on the onset, you had the animals, and I could get the people. I don't know how many people you think from Iowa killed the first antelope out west with you.
I'd say we're getting close to 1,000 now.
Wow.
1,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Over 30 years.
Yep.
It's, and if people don't believe in divine intervention, at 2 o'clock in 1992 on the 50th year of the Iowa Sports Show, you hadn't sold a hunt in 5 days.
Not one.
And walked in 2 o'clock and bought 2 hunts.
You did.
And that had to be divine intervention for you to be there 5 days. And here we are 30 years later.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, that. And
all the clientele you've got me over the years, the friendships, they're priceless anyway.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do in the spirit of Fred Bear, is give back. And between the both of us, we've done that.
Yes, and some.
You know.
And some.
It, as Deb's out here
30-year anniversary for Debbie too.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I always felt bad about that. I know you did too.
I never forgot it.
That antelope was standing right in front of her.
Never forgot. I never told anybody that again.
Yeah, yeah. And
I have not told anybody that.
I mean, she could
Well, I'm
have.
the only person ever listened to you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The only person didn't crawl out of her hole and went to another hole. Yeah.
Yeah, that we told her a certain antelope came down not to shoot it, and it came down to her and it was standing. What do you think, Chuck? 5-10 yards from the line,
Yeah.
10 yards.
Probably 10, 12 yards, huh? Yeah.
and you said, "I'm impressed. I'm impressed." But along with, I think we were more depressed because that would have been an opportunity time, you know.
Oh yeah, I felt like puking that night.
And,
I didn't care.
that was the luckiest antelope in Wyoming.
Yes, it was.
It,
Because of our foolishness.
yeah, don't shoot that
Gave
way.
him some luck.
He had to grow up, you know.
And he did.
It's,
Yeah, a few years later, he got shot from someone from Iowa. So, and he was a lot bigger.
Yep. Well, here's the lodge. Beautiful setup. You can, got nice beds. Got everything you need. And a real hunting romantic atmosphere. Like I said, it's got everything. Stove, refrigerator. It's got, Chuck's got his room back here and a full bathroom. So everything is in order. So if you're looking for a western hunt, this man, Chuck Cureton, Ridgemaster Outfitter, can take you, if you're lucky enough, on elk tag, mule deer tag, antelope tag, spring turkey tag. This is the man to book your hunt with. Chuck Cureton, Ridgemaster Outfitters. Yeah, here's Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick.
Man.
You moved from Minnesota, didn't you, Rick? I see your
Yep,
Trump sign out there. That we're in the same legion.
Yeah. Yep.
But this is the landowner that owns all this beautiful land out here, and there's no guarantees on anything. But boy, that's a beautiful, beautiful field. Plus, you can see what he's picked up in sheds and stuff off of there. So he is a good land steward. He really puts a lot of his labor and self into the work.
What I like to do is make friends.
Yeah, well, you made
And especially if you believe in God, then I really want to be your friend.
Divine intervention put me and this man together.
I told you,
Really?
never doubt us.
That is cool.
I'll tell you about divine intervention. What was it, 2017?
Yep.
When Jimmy's daughter took her life?
Yep.
I sent him out $1,000 to help in the funeral.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing I did when I got here, which I always do, is pay respect to Leonard Elm.
Yep.
And his daughter was buried there, and I went and said my prayers to her.
Yep.
1/2 hour that night, set a Pope and Young antelope 15 yards down to me.
Wow.
Now, if that's not divine intervention, and meeting this man 30 years ago, after he spent 5 days at a 50th anniversary of a big classic in Des Moines, Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Me and this lady walked up to him and bought 2 hunts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And I told him, you got the animals, I got the connections of the people. And
Good.
he just told me it was probably 1,000 people from Iowa.
My goodness.
We're going out to the flying. Ladou's hometown. And it's just, you can't come back to Iowa and say you didn't see anything. And only if you had a garbage bag over your head. Because you never know what you can see out here. We'll drive back and check out the blind. There's one up there and two up there.
Yep.
And I think there's three.
And that's nothing. You're gonna, when they're all together, you're gonna see 50 to 60 here.
Wow. And it's a rut.
And there's 5 bucks in there.
Wow.
And when the big one's there, you'll know it because he's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's probably the one, something dead's around here.
Yeah, they got the buzzards. Something they're circling. There's a bridge that Rick and Chuck built when it was over 100 degrees. That way you don't have to wade chest deep in that water.
No, and it's moving pretty swift.
And that's the blind up there on top.
Yep. I figured that's a pretty short walk up there.
Oh yeah.
And you're blocked by both sides.
Yep. You go right up that ditch.
Yep. We'll go to the other blind and then I'm going to take you. Well, they're not down here, so they got to be. We'll go up and across the bridge and you'll see them.
There's another crossing right here with the blind.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah. I mean, and
It's a little shallower there.
And look at that ant hill.
Yeah, we got ant hills all over that place.
The Indians used to stick the white man out on them.
Yeah, I know.
And don't.
It's a young buck. Well, there's a few up there that we didn't see.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we want to disturb them.
Now we've seen enough. There's antelope here.
But there's more over that hill.
Working on your. No, what would you do now?
Working on the skid loader, putting a fuel pump in.
Yeah.
Right down here, and an antelope kicked me in my left heel when it ran across.
Oh wow.
The same day, an hour later, down by the shed by the fuel barrel, I seen a glimpse of a mountain lion. That's why they're so close. They must have figured that I wasn't a threat like the mountain lion was.
Wow. It's amazing what you see out here, from rattlesnakes to you never know. But you cannot come out here in KayCee, Wyoming and say you didn't see anything. Because the landscape, the sunrise, the sunsets, you've never seen them on that particular location on this planet. And everything has its place. But, you know, Ricky's a God-fearing man, and as he helps God's wildlife, the old man up above pays him back. What I'm trying to do is stock up on these antelope. They're laying out in the pasture. Going down through this old dry creek. I don't have my bow with me, but that's not, I'm just trying to check out this buck. And boy, I got some red ants in my hair. Right there is where I got all those red ants on me. I slid under that fence and they were on the back of my neck and on my hat. And I'll tell you what, they really did a number on my back, on my neck. Well, here's the first morning. We're out here in KayCee, Wyoming on a genuine American, Ricky's Ranch. And he's really an exceptional American. Solid Trump supporter, number one. That's the best thing I like about it. And the other thing is, he's just completely independent. Well, we got our face paint on, and almost with that gray hair, I almost got to dye my hair black. But we'll sit back and see what unfolds. And killing the biggest antelope in Wyoming, or the biggest in any so-called record book, is not on my agenda. If it's a nice antelope, they don't grow in Iowa, I'll be taking it home, hopefully. So let's let Mother Nature take its course. Wow. What a moment. You don't see that very often. Yeah, thunder and lightning sitting on here, waiting for Chuck to come back. Out on the prairie in a thunderstorm. Sunrise, Wyoming, 23rd. Can't tell me if you went to Wyoming, you'd never seen nothing. Well, here we are, day number 2. Beautiful morning. About 57 degrees. And we got through that thunderstorm last night. Had some lightning and not a whole lot of rain, but it ain't the safest place to be out on the prairie on a high spot in a lightning storm. So keep that in mind. Anyhow, we're going to give it another try today. And you got to have patience. Because what the antelope were doing 30 days ago, they're not doing today because they're in full rut. And it's just like hunting buck deer. You can shoot an antelope that it came from miles away overnight looking for the does. And so you could kill a tremendous antelope, or you can sit all day, because right now they're really hard to pattern, just like the white-tailed deer. So let's sit back and see how the day unfolds. Yeah, it's got a pretty good little wind blowing, and it's chilly enough that I had to take Chuck's hat off, because it's like a summertime hat, and put Billy Dixon's hat on, and because it's more of a warmer, whole lot warmer cap, and so I had to put that on to keep your head warm out here this morning. That's just amazing how the weather can change so fast in Wyoming. But this is keeping my head warmer, because it's most of your heat loss goes out your head, and so I decided I'd dig that Billy Dixon's hat out and put it on and try to keep hot-headed. Might be going to launch there, I don't know. But looks like it's about ready to take off. There it goes. Boy, that was quick. One little buck. About 6 o'clock at night. $6:30. Here it may come. Here we are in a ground blind, makeshift ground blind, in a dead tree, fell over. And that's where our spade, our saw, and all that stuff comes into play. I'll show you what I mean. My gloves are doing double duty because somewhere along the line I lost my carpet. But I dug that hole with my little spade, and it was really soft ground down here in the creek bottom. And then that piece of tarp that I told you, that camouflage material, that's going to work excellent when that sun gets right there. That sun will be right there as soon as it gets out behind that cottonwood tree. And if you didn't have that, it would be shining right in your face. So, leather gloves, knee pads, shovels, bow holders, all that's your responsibility. Can't put all that responsibility on the outfitter. The more you put into your hunt, no matter the size of the animal you harvest, it'll be a trophy because you put you into that hunt. And like I say, this is just a hole dug in the ground. The tree fell down. You got in it, you got the backdrop. And the backdrop is more important than the front. So to keep that in mind, camouflage in front of you is not as important as camouflage behind you to break up your human silhouette. And camouflage paint, especially when you're not in a blind. So let's sit back and see what happens with our old school technology. Yeah, I want to show you all. You know, this is a learning channel, and I try to help people before they run into trouble in the field. And here's a perfectly good example. Right there. Sun glaring right in your face. Right in your face. See that? See how bright that is in my face? All I gotta do is bend down a little bit, and with the aid of that piece of netting that weighs nothing, no more than toilet paper, that saves your day. Plus, I cut this limb down with leaves on it from a cottonwood tree hanging low, and that'll shade me for the rest of the day. But like I said, just that little piece of netting saves your eyes and makes you more comfortable. And these clowns on television, they don't show you anything like that. It's all about them and the product they're trying to push. And this is not a product pushing channel. It's a real deal channel. And a real Republican pro-Trump channel. So if you don't like that, get off it. Yeah, I can sit here in shade and comfort, and I don't have that sun blasting me in the face. But if I didn't have that netting, I'd be up that creek without a sun visor. See what we got going here. You can see that irrigation line in the background on the other side of the fence. Well, those antelope were going under that fence right in there. And like I say, there's the pipe for the irrigation. And that log right there that you see by that wheel. That's where they've been crossing. The fence is down and they go right underneath of it. Antelope don't like to jump fences. I've cut up one out of the top fence where it catches its feet in there. They're not good jumpers. So they'll go under the fence far more times than over the fence. So that's where the crossing is. And they should come right out here around 20-25 yards and walk. Hopefully when they get over here by this big cottonwood, that's where I'm going to plan on taking my shot, because it'll be quartering away. But that's why it was set up here, like I said. Right there where that log is and that wheel is where the fence is. They can go underneath that bottom wire. That's why we got this makeshift, and I love doing these makeshift blinds. They're cooler, far cooler than any contained blind that's black interior. This lets the wind get to you in every direction. The only thing you have to deal with is the sun, and that's easy to deal with. I just showed you. So hopefully we'll get on with the hunt here. If Mr. Antelope comes, I'll leave that there, and then we can get him and see if I can get him on film. Well, we moved our blind to a new place. The other one was a good place, but Chuck seen more antelope up on this ridge up here behind us, and they weren't on the green field where I set up this morning. So we decided we better cover that orange up there. So that's a dead giveaway. Anyway, we moved over here to this green field. Get over here. And the antelope, I like this situation because the antelope are up high in the brown grass. And when they're up high like that, in that brown grass, that means they're going to come down tonight. And when they do, we're sitting about 20-25 yards away from the main trail. And hopefully we'll, if God's willing and everything's right, we'll have a pretty decent yardage shot at it as they come down off that hill. And I'm in a irrigation ditch, which worked perfect. So we are set up, and we'll sit here until nightfall. They were only about 20 yards away. And they didn't flush or nothing. But you never know what you're going to see out here. And I'm just sitting in the open in the ditch with camouflage on. Like I say, you never know what you're going to see. Ready for action. This is one of the most ideal spots to be set up at nighttime on this ranch. There's 1,900 acres on this ranch. And for Chuck Cureton, the owner, operator of Ridgemaster Outfitters, he has to have an eye for detail on where to have hunters set up at. Now I'm set up in an irrigation ditch, which worked out really good because I took a nap in it. It was flat, soft dirt, and that was comfortable. But now we're at 3:30, and But I wouldn't give any place on earth right now up for where I'm sitting, because I just got that feeling that something good's going to happen. And I'm going to show you something right over my shoulder. Those are the past landowners of this ranch, and I'm in the shadow of their graces. That cross is casting a shadow down upon the field, and the Lord's with me. There's a fawn deer, or year and a half year old. Must be a fawn. So the deer are moving, the antelope will be moving. See if its mom follows it up. Mom. Thank God I got the wind in my favor. You know, it's something real special to dig a pit line, camouflage it in, and have wildlife come out. They're on the move. It's almost 5 o'clock. Well, we had another successful hunt here at Ridgemaster Outfitters with Chuck Cureton. The man, you need an antelope hunt, this is the man to go to. Now, some of you are going to say, you didn't kill nothing. Oh, killing is not all about hunting. I had a hell of a hunt. Digging pit blinds, going back in history, all that, and then seeing a real nice buck. And if that almighty Lord up there wanted us to shot it, he would have sent it down the trail. But the numbers are down here in Wyoming, and the DNR said they're down quite a bit. So it's unfair to the landowner, Ricky. He's trying to build the herd, so why take one of his main breeding bulls out of the herd just for a kill thrill? I got it on video and I got to share it with the viewers, and this man right here is what made it all possible, and got to stay in a real 5-star lodge, and it didn't get any better. So, if you
30-year anniversary hunt.
Yep.
That was the best part. We're still alive.
30 years, and I'll tell you what, Teddy Roosevelt, he was right. You know, he wanted to see the influx of the herd, and 30 years ago, the herd was a whole lot better, but with the droughts and the heavy snow cover, they've really put a hurt on the antelope, especially.
EHD too.
And EHD.
Big player in this.
Yeah.
Big player.
And it's affected all deer, mule deer, elk, moose, the antelope. So you got to be a conservationist as a hunter also. And you don't kill your herd bull if you're trying to build your herd, because then if all you got's cows in the pasture, and in this case does, you really did a negative thing for the landowner and fellow hunters in the future. So
Great hunt, buddy.
yep.
Don't get no better.
Nope, it don't.